Hi again. So I'm back in the house today doing a little bit more seed starting for my cut flower garden. I've actually been able to be out in the garden the past few days. Here in Northwest Iowa, we have been having some really great weather lately. It's been in the 60s. So I've been able to start a few of the structural changes that I'll be doing this year in the garden. One of them being I'm changing all of my 4-foot pathways to 3-foot pathways to increase growing space, make room for a few things. So I think it'll be a really great change. But like I said, I'm doing some more seed starting today, and I'm actually starting some more dahlias from seed because a couple days ago, I got my Discovering Dahlias book in the mail, and included with that was a seed packet of some seeds. So I have to start them, of course. I've actually already started some dahlia seeds for the year, and I wanted to do a video on how I started them anyway, but these are the ones that I started previously, and they are looking amazing. So I'm going to be starting the ones today the exact same way that I started these. These dahlias are almost 4 weeks old already, and as you can see, they're putting on some really nice growth. In here, I have 3 different types started. I have a decorative mix, a pom-pom mix, and then I have a black dahlia. Those are seeds I got from another grower online. And the black dahlia almost looks like a very, very dark purple or burgundy. So I think that'll be really fun to see how that turns out. And then the seeds I'm starting today are the Discovering Dahlias mix from Floret. So this will be a total surprise. Now, when you start dahlias from seed, you kind of never know what you're gonna get. Now, the only way that you're guaranteed to get the exact same dahlia that you grew the previous season is if you plant the tuber, because that is the mother plant. If you save the seeds from your dahlias and plant those the next year, you're probably gonna get some sort of a variation, which is what makes it so exciting, and that is how growers do dahlia breeding. Now you'll notice that I'm growing these in peat pots, and the reason that I'm doing that is because I read in an article online that dahlias do not like their roots to be disturbed. So I'm starting the seeds in these pots, and they're going to go in the ground in these pots. Now when you start dahlias from seed, they barely like to be under any soil. So the peat pots I have already filled with an organic seed starting mix. It's pre-moistened, and I'm basically just gonna set the dahlia seed on top of the soil. I'm gonna cover it with a light dusting of soil and then mist it in. And then these are gonna go downstairs under my grow lights on my heat mats. Now I'm gonna be sowing 2 to 3 seeds per cell. That is what I did for these. A couple of them came up with just 1 plant, but most of them have 2 to 3 plants per cell. And I think I'm gonna leave them that way. I just wanna see how they do. When you think about it, when you plant your clump of tubers in the ground, it has multiple growth points. So these have multiple growth points. So I'm hoping what I'll get is just a fuller, bushier plant with more blooms, but we'll see how it goes. I'll make sure to keep you posted on that. So let me go ahead and get these started. Dahlia seeds are started, so now I'll just put them downstairs under my grow lights on the heat mats. And while I'm doing this video, I want to go ahead and share with you how my Lisianthus are doing too. Alright, so here's all my Lisianthus. I have 2 different sets of them going. This is the second set I started, which is about 6 weeks old, and this is the first set that I've started, which is about 9 weeks old. Now these have already been transplanted into a 200 cell tray, but they initially were started this same way. This is the intensive seed starting method that Charles Dowding does, but I got the tray idea from Nicole from Flower Hill Farm. So thanks for that, Nicole. My 9-week-old Lisianthus I am really happy with. Some of them are starting to get quite large. Now these have been fertilized once with a fish emulsion. Here's what I'm using. And I plan to fertilize them about every 2 weeks. This is my first year growing Lisianthus, but I am really excited about how they're looking so far. If you want to see the entire process of how I started my Lisianthus, I'll link that video down below. All right, well that's it for this video. In the next few weeks, I'm going to get really busy with some seed starting, both for my vegetable garden, but especially for my cut flower garden. I think next week I'll be starting about 5 different more varieties of some earlier season flowers. And then in about another month, I'm gonna start the rest of the flowers for the season. So I'll try to post videos on all of those, and I'll post videos on all of the changes that are going on in the garden. I have quite a few this year, so stay tuned.